Hey, it's me, Hrishikesh, Kannan, popularly known as HrishiKay. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business, and current affairs.
I came up with this term and it just happened, the other day while I was interviewing and we were talking about Bobby sir and I said, he's a man with a child's soul.
He is.
He's a man. He's a grown-up man with a child.
Who likes Loki?
Who likes
more
Loki?
than anything in the world.
That Loki thing is a killer. Yeah, he likes Loki. That's amazing.
He loves Loki.
What's your favorite sabzi?
Yeah, please. The next time you meet him, you have to ask him about Loki and his love for it.
He's really like a small, and we've heard about the entire Deol family, that they are so emotionally, fragile is not the right word. They're pretty emotionally very sensitive. They drop a tear at the drop of a hat, And but when I got to see that in person, आप अगर उनको मिलोगे, if you talk about any of his films and tell him that आपका ये काम मुझे अच्छा लगा, मैंने आपकी ये फिल्म देखी, his eyes will water up. And genuinely there is a massive sense of gratitude which from within him that you can feel on the other side.
Yeah.
I just happened to tell him, when he was leaving, उनका हमसे जल्दी हो गया था, shoot खत्म, he knocked my door, he's like, I'm leaving and I was unwell at that time. मैंने उनको कभी एक दिन कहा होगा कि, I love the fragrance that you wear because I love fragrances, and after 2 days, he made sure that he called one for me from Bombay.
Oh my God. What a couple on screen. Vikrant and Sanya. Great to see you guys. And Vikrant, I saw Sanya in between during Meenakshi Sundareshwar. But for 2 years, I've just been seeing you on the screen. It's finally it's nice to get out of it.
Same here, sir. I'm really excited to meet you in person. And if you remember last time, जब हम बात कर रहे थे Zoom पे, is when we sort of spoken to each other कि कब मिलने मिलेगा, when do we get to meet? But I'm really, really happy that finally I get to sit with you.
Sanya, you know what my wife says? Every time we do a Zoom interview with Vikrant Massey, we'll always ask, how are the children, how's the family? And she said, इसको तो शादी कर लेनी चाहिए यार. ये हमेशा ये तो हमेशा family और बच्चों की बात करता है.
हाँ, जरूर.
So the big question is, I hope it's happening very soon. Good. Listen, guys, I'm very excited by Love Hostel, about the Bobby Deol factor, which we'll come to, but also because of Shanker Raman. I've heard so many wonderful things about him. I loved Gurgaon. It has assumed a cult status. One of our mutual friends, which is Sanya Malhotra, the actress, tells me that Shankar is kind of like a Satvik kind of Baba. It's wonderful to listen to him.
He is.
So tell me about your director.
Slash a shrink.
Shri Shankar.
Shri Shankar.
Shankar Raman ji.
Shrink Raman ji. He is fantastic. And I think he understands human psychology on some other level. मतलब सिर्फ ज्योति द कैरेक्टर दैट आई एम प्लेइंग इन द फिल्म उसकी ही नहीं, बट फॉर मी ऑल्सो आई थिंक ही हैज़ हेल्प मी सो मच. ही हेल्ड माई हैंड थ्रू आउट द प्रोसेस ऑफ फिल्मिंग एंड रियली हेल्प मी टू गेट इन टू हर साइकी. डेफिनेटली लाइक साधु तो हैं, यू कैन सिट विद हिम एंड टॉक टू हिम अबाउट एनीथिंग. मतलब नॉट ओनली अबाउट द फिल्म और द कैरेक्टर और व्हाट इज गोइंग अराउंड विद आशु एंड ज्योति, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ही टॉक्स अबाउट such like nice things that you will just sit and think कि इनको इतना सब कैसे पता है यार. How is he so like?
मैं तो उनको छेड़ता भी हूँ. मैं कहता हूँ कि यार एक्टिंग और फिल्म मेकिंग ये सब जब हो जाएगा ना, उसके बाद हम लोग एक पंडाल लगाएंगे, आपको बाबा बना देंगे, मैं आपका असिस्टेंट बन जाऊंगा, बहुत पैसे कमाएंगे.
प्रवचन.
Because he is so good, like Sanya is saying, he can actually, you can talk to him about anything under the sun.
Yeah.
And
genius.
He's a genius.
He is.
Like for me at least, and I don't think I've ever encountered someone जिनको मैं इतनी इज्जत दूं तहे दिल से. I can definitely say somewhere down the line that during the process of Love Hostel and things beyond that, like our interactions go beyond that, I think he's someone I can very easily call a mentor today.
Oh wow.
In a lot of ways. Whether it is the craft, whether it is human psychology, human nature, he has an impeccable grasp of things. And as a third person, like whatever interactions we've had, it seems कि ये आदमी ने जिंदगी कितनी जी है. बहुत जिंदगी जी है उन्होंने.
And fully. And I think that's the reason he can make films like Love Hostel or Gurgaon.
No, I like this. I like when actors say, I'm going to keep in touch with a director or a filmmaker beyond the film. Otherwise, the film industry is replete with people who come together, make a film, they have a wonderful time together,
Yeah.
and sometimes they just lose touch. I mean, and it's a wonderful thing that he says that he would like to keep in touch with Shankar always, like a mentor. You feel that way about him? Do you feel that often with a lot of your co-stars and directors?
Yeah, I think I've been very lucky with the people that I've worked with till now. They're all very nice to me, and apart from being good professionals, I think they're very nice personally too. So I think I'm quite lucky that I have met wonderful people in the industry, whether it's actors, directors, or producers. So that way, I think I'm quite lucky, grateful.
Love Hostel opened my eyes to one thing. I've seen very little of it. And it was the fact that I didn't even know that the court puts you in remand in a place if you're a fugitive couple. I mean, normally we are urban city slickers. We think, oh, these are the things that happen in small towns. But apparently, a lot of small town people also don't know that. Because I got on a call while I was, waiting for this interview to happen. And I checked with a couple of friends and they said, boss, acha, we didn't know that. Did you know of that, Vikrant? I mean, or did you only find out after you started researching?
I knew very little of it before the film, but in depth or probably a little more in comparison to what I knew, I only know after the film. But the other day we were chatting, like I was chatting to someone else. उनका भी यही reaction था that उनको पता ही नहीं है कि ये सारी चीजें by law आपको provide की जाती हैं. And there are so many connotations to it. I know you can see it the way you want, but I definitely see it as something which is very disappointing. कि आज की तारीख में भी हम 2022 में भी consenting adults को ostracize करते हैं और आज उनको एक सहारा ही लेना पड़ता है कहीं ना कहीं. But our film is not entirely or in entirety based on the concept of safe houses. It's a very important part of our story, but our fictional story revolves around the surroundings of what we see in the film. Like, for example, the safe house. And the world at large, metaphorically speaking, the character played by Bobby sir in the film, which I don't know, you haven't seen the film.
I've seen bits of
it.
Bobby.
Metaphorically speaking, he represents everything that we see around us. And that's...
Did you know about safe houses before this film?
Not at all.
I was quite shocked. I said, wow.
Not at all.
At least one should know, na?
Yeah.
At least one should teach the next generation. These things exist,
And I'm glad, like, as actors and directors, you're getting to, like,
films have to be
maybe
made
put
on
this out there and educate people that this is a part of our society that we don't know about.
Correct. It's obviously a film that deals with a lot of patriarchy, justifiably so. Because, I think we need to move beyond the point to say that there's only patriarchy in the north and in Haryana and Rajasthan. I mean, I've gone to the deepest recesses of the south and I've found the same mentality. But in the midst of that, this girl that you play seems to be very gutsy, very ballsy, and she is not even afraid of taking on the cop or the thulla, like they would call in Delhi.
Yeah.
So talk to me about her, and that must have been very pleasing for you as a character trait.
Yeah, and that's not me at all.
You're the chup chap kone wali.
Yeah, no, actually, no, I'm very much a Delhi wala. So I can like talk like Jyoti at times whenever I'm in Delhi. That Delhi wala comes out. कि क्या कर रहा है? वैसा type. तो आता है बाहर. But with Jyoti, I think, as you said, there is patriarchy in our film too. But if you see that her conditioning is not such. She has grown up with a grandmother like hers, जो नहीं सुन रही है पंचायत की या किसी की भी. तो मतलब उसकी कंडीशनिंग अलग है ज्योति की, एंड शी इज़ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड कॉन्फिडेंट दैट वट एवर शी इज़ गोइंग थ्रू राइट नाउ शी विल बी आउट ऑफ इट, एंड शी इज़ होपफुल, शी इज़ कॉन्फिडेंट दैट वट एवर लाइक इज हैपनिंग बिटवीन आशु एंड ज्योति, वन डे दे विल बी लिविंग अ नाइस एंड ब्यूटिफुल लाइफ इन फ्यूचर. बट शी वॉन्ट्स इट, शी विल डू एनीथिंग टू ग्रैब इट. So I think that was something that really attracted me to Jyoti, because she's such a wonderful woman. She inspires me, she empowers me. She comes from a small village, but she's a CA too. And I think that's something that really motivated me to be her, or to slip into her shoes and live her life.
And that beautiful dichotomy is there in the script, isn't it? I mean, at one end you have women who are a victim of this patriarchy, and there are women in rural India also standing up and saying, you know, what the hell, I'm going to take this to the other side. And in between, I see your character has a bit of softness, saying, you know, it's okay, you know, this, that. So it's nice to break stereotypes. You know, men have to be tough and women have to be sensitive and this and that. It's beautiful, isn't it, Vikrant?
It is, and I've been trying to do that for years now.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity, toxic patriarchy, all these things, you know, they unfortunately are still a part of our society. But as far as we recognize it, as far as we recognize the changes that need to be made, it's a good start, isn't it? So yeah, he's the balance actually. He's the counterbalance to Jyoti, this guy. But he's actually not what you see on the surface level. He's quite a lot more. The moment you skate beyond the skin, this guy is quite a lot more than what meets the eye. So, like, for the lack of a better word, I think he's a counterbalance to Jyoti. He's also someone who probably, because of his experiences in life and because he's street smart, he knows how to maneuver his way through. And Jyoti also calls him a yes man. She says that you are a yes man. But as far as it sails his boat, he's willing to adapt into anything that sails his boat. And coming from where he comes from, I think he's done pretty well to, you know, see another light of the day. Because these two together and individually as well, Jyoti and Ashu, they're going through quite a lot. They're going through quite a lot. And as Sanya said so rightly, that like how Jyoti empowers her, you know, she fills her with hope. Both these characters fill me with hope, you know, with the belief that there is every possibility that we can have a better tomorrow than today.
And how good is both your Jatu, yeah? You know, I remember Randeep Hooda telling me once, saying, "Ke boss, I'm from the heartland, the Jat heartland. And even I get scared trying to speak a bit of Jatu because if the Jats get to hear that, and it's wrong."
Yeah.
He said, I get a lot of. So, did you have a dialect coach? And it must have been a little easier for you because, you know, you're from NCR.
हाँ,
that region.
NCR, and I've also done Dangal,
Yeah,
but
correct.
she's very different from Babita in Dangal. She has studied in Delhi, so
She has a slight urban touch. Yeah.
urban touch. So we didn't like. I don't think so. Jyoti doesn't have that accent or a.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. She probably is the only one who does not have that heavy duty dialect.
correct.
Because she's studied, she's done her, you know, CA from Delhi. She's far more exposed even in comparison to Ashu, you know.
But you've got a great sense of rhythm. You can pick up, you know, accents, dialects very easily, I've found.
Because he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sanu. Thank you so much.
So no problems on that front, obviously, Vikrant.
Me, I think I naturally have this knack. I don't know if DNA sort of passes this on to you because my mother, she speaks 9 languages.
Are?
Yeah.
Wow.
She speaks 9 languages and I don't know, maybe वहाँ से आता है.
These are all Indian regional languages?
All
or
Indian
she
regional
speaks
languages.
French type also?
No. All Indian regional languages. She
Wow.
speaks like Punjabi तो बोलती हैं because she is a Sikhni. Punjabi, Hindi, English, Marathi, Bengali, Gujarati. She understands Kannada because she tells me कि मराठी के कुछ you know जो उनकी phonetics और grammar है वो बहुत similar है. She says कि geography की वजह से भी अगर देखो तो बहुत सारी चीजें over a period of time जो migration की वजह से हुई हैं उनकी languages same है. I can't wrap my head around it.
But she's a linguist, man.
Yeah,
That's
9
what I call her.
9
That's
different
amazing.
languages.
Wow, great. So, I mean, the conversation has to veer towards Bobby Deol. Every time you meet him, I mean, he's very huggable. He's so sweet. He's just,
That's
and
the
then
right
suddenly
word.
he started doing these things with Dadi, Moch, looking very ferocious and this and that. And he's doing a damn good job out of it. Because, you know, he looks pretty fierce.
Yeah.
But he's such a softie, isn't he?
He
Must have
is.
enjoyed your time with Bobby, both of you.
I came up with this term and it just happened, you know, the other day while I was interviewing and we were talking about Bobby sir and I said, you know, he's a man with a child's soul.
He is.
He's a man. He's a grown-up man with a
Who
child's
likes
soul.
Loki?
Who likes
more than
Loki.
anything in the world.
That Loki thing is a killer. Yeah, he likes Loki. That's amazing.
He loves Loki.
What's your favorite sabzi?
Yeah, please. The next time you meet him, you have to ask him about Loki and his love for it.
He's really like a small, and we've heard about, you know, the entire Deol family, that they are so emotionally, you know, fragile is not the right word. They're pretty emotionally very sensitive. They drop a tear at the drop of a hat, you know. And but when I got to see that in person, आप अगर उनको मिलोगे, if you talk about any of his films and tell him that, you know, आपका ये काम मुझे अच्छा लगा, मैंने आपकी ये फिल्म देखी, his eyes will water up. And genuinely there is a massive sense of gratitude which from within him that you can feel on the other side.
Yeah.
I just happened to tell him, you know, when he was leaving, उनका हमसे जल्दी हो गया था, shoot खत्म, he knocked my door, he's like, yeah, I'm leaving, and I was unwell at that time. मैंने उनको कभी एक दिन कहा होगा कि, you know, I love the fragrance that you wear because I love fragrances, and after 2 days, he made sure that he called one for me from Bombay.
Oh my God. That is sensitivity.
Wow.
I mean, it's not even
And he
about the money,
cried.
it's about the sensitivity.
We hardly shot. We actually did. We spent a lot of time on set, not as much as we would have liked to, but we don't have a lot of screen time together. So there were days when we would walk onto the set and he would leave, or the other way around. And he met me and he cried. He had tears. He was emotional. He said, you know, I'm so glad that I got to do this film with you, and I'm so happy. I hope we get to work together again. And he was crying, and like just looking at that man who's achieved so much in these last 25 years, still have that zest to come on set like a newcomer every day, working hard as he does, it's commendable. I think I've really picked up a lot of things from that
And
man.
the fact that he used to be there on set all the time, like the connection that he has with his character, that is all there. But with the team also, I've never seen him sitting in the vanity. हमारा scene भी हो रहा था, तो he used to sit outside on his chair. And he's
Watch
like
the
quite
model.
like tall. The first time I met him, I was quite intimidated. मैंने कहा ये तो बहुत लंबे हैं. कैमरे पे तो नहीं लगते इतने लंबे. बहुत लंबे हैं. He's like quite tall and I'm quite tiny, so I got really scared. Meeting Dagar and meeting Bobby Deol also.
Well, my favorite Bobby Deol story is the Class of '83, which is a series
Yeah.
film that he did. So I was like, you know, how is it that you look so young? Yeah, bro. Even when I grow a beard, I don't get grays in my beard, man. Sometimes I get them in my sideburns. The innocence of that statement is a bro. I don't get grays in my. So I was like, dude, this is so nice. It's just, you know, heart like an ocean. That's fantastic.
Heart like an ocean. Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
The ensemble cast seems really interesting. There's this girl, Dahiya, who helps you guys get married. Would you like to tell me a little more about some of the other actors? You know, somebody who we should watch out for in Love Hostel, Vikrant, Sanya.
भगवान सिंह.
You can even talk about their character names if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And हमारे पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर जो कहते हैं welcome to Love Hostel. He's so brilliant.
He is
The
incredible.
first time I met him on set, I was blown. And that whole scene where I'm talking to him कि होगा नहीं होगा, that banter felt so real. I really wanted to go like beat him up.
And fantastic writing, na?
Yeah.
आप तो कपड़े खोल के खड़ी हो जाती हैं or something he says, you know.
Yeah.
And he says, आधार कार्ड ले लो, जला दो or something.
yeah.
Something he says.
तेरे को तो जमीन पे लौटने की आदत होगी. सुनने की भी आदत है. सिर्फ लौटने की नहीं, सुनने की भी आदत है. And she's like, yeah, I've heard this too many times now.
Yeah, that's the humor in
The
that
humor
belt
is
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
You know, from
Yeah.
the grandmother to the grandchild.
It seems so innate in people belonging to that belt. It's very dry, crude. Crude is the right word. You know,
Yeah.
it like if there's someone from outside who walks into that belt, or you know, in that surrounding, he would find the language so crude, but that's what their humor is.
Yeah, it's not sugar coated.
Yeah.
It's not
Nothing is sugar
Nothing
coated.
is sugar coated. It is.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah,
like that.
I
I
like
like
it
that
too.
about the Delhi walas also. They're on your face. They will tell you कि ये बिल्कुल बेकार है. ये अच्छा नहीं लगा मैं.
It's a beautiful Punjabi trait.
Yeah, it is.
Which the Italians also have, but they've taken it from the Punjabis.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, last question. I'm going to take you a little away from Love Hostel. I'm doing a social service campaign, which I think is very important. I go to Delhi and I see the pollution in the atmosphere. It's toxic. I go to the beach and I see plastic all over. Even if we do beach cleanups, the next day the plastic comes.
Yeah, it's quite crazy.
Nobody seems to be separating dry and wet waste. There's no composting. You know, people are throwing garbage. People are still using single-use plastic. Small things that you, Sanya, you, Vikram, or the Malhotras, the Masseys do to try and save the planet. You know, let's talk about that. Even if it's conserving electricity, water, something. That will be a nice way to sign this off.
As I was telling you that I carry my water bottles everywhere I go, I carry a 4-liter water bottle, and I'm sure like not people don't have that luxury to carry such a big bulky like bottle everywhere. But then if I can, I make sure to carry my own water bottle. I refill it. I don't use the small plastic bottles that you get on set. I carry it on shoots. Everywhere I go, that bottle goes with me. You can compost at home. You get composting bins. It's easily available online. It's there on Amazon. It comes with a kit. You can put your dry waste, whatever vegetables and all that you eat every day in it, and it does the job. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to put the vegetables in it, and then put the kit powder or something, whatever you get with it, and it makes like good compost for your plants that you have at
Art
home.
for your plants, yeah.
Yeah, and the plants that I get from your radio station every time I visit, and I love it. They're like flourishing in my house. They're beautiful. So plant trees. I also signed up with the Beach Clean Bombay, the team. So I went with them to clean the Meethi River, which was fun too. It's a great activity, and it takes. Let me tell you, it's as good as working out in a gym. So if you can like make that a habit with like calling your friends to do a cleanup at a beach or something, it's a good activity of sorts. So maybe like adapt
Exercise and fun.
yeah, exercise and fun. Kooda uthao, body banao.
Kuda uthao, body banao. Wow. Hashtag. This is amazing. Yeah, honestly, I am not as well versed as Sanya is, or probably you would be. But whatever little I can do within my capacity is we've massively reduced the usage of plastic.
So you take a cloth bag when you go to the market. Great. Super.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
your sabzi, whatever,
reduce.
whatever.
Yeah, your own jute bags you carry. Conservation of electricity is something which I very, very strongly
I'm
feel
very
for.
middle class. I leave a room and I'll switch the light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pankha,
Same,
light,
same.
AC
Fan,
sab band.
pankha, everything. And trying to use now, starting to use a lot of recycled material, whether it is clothes, whether it is shoes, especially because I've realized that a lot of what you get, in retail stores is also recyclable. So trying to strike a good balance between the two, but I'm still trying to educate myself. I will concede the fact that I don't know much about it. Uh, yeah, and I've been trying to learn and do whatever little I can within my capacity.
Lovely. Love Hostel on ZEE5. Please go watch, support the film. Thank you, Sanya. Thank you,
Thank
Vikrant.
you.
Thank you so much, HrishiKay. It's always a pleasure meeting you. And you said Bobby sir is very huggable. You are the most huggable person.
Thank you.
Most huggable
That's
person.
the best compliment I could have got. Thank you so much. Thank you.